Rebel, congratulations on the movie, first of all. Absolutely loved it, just like the first one. And talking about the first one was an absolute juggernaut of a hit. Was everybody expecting that? And were you surprised at just how big it became?
Because it was a small movie, the first one. I mean, it was just a bunch of us in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, just kind of like we were at a musical theatre camp, just making something for ourselves. And then people really found it. I mean, the first movie, it wasn't like, didn't open that big. We didn't have like lots of publicity or anything. And people just like said, oh, that movie's like really funny, and found out about it. And then it got released in like the whole world.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, cool. And just the fans' reaction was so strong that we had to come back and do a second one. So we made it for the fans who really loved the first one.
And the fans' reaction to you, because your character, it was a big character, but it wasn't the main character, but yet it's probably the most quoted character. So are you surprised? And do people, I assume, come to you and quote back to you from the first movie, do they?
Yeah, a lot of my jokes about horizontal running or mermaid dancing really made an impact with people and helped them in their daily lives. Probably not.
Yeah.
But I was, so flattered when I'd see people wearing a T-shirt that has one of my sayings on it.
Brilliant.
And Fat Amy is just such a fun character to play because she's so confident and sassy, and so I was definitely wanted to play her again.
Okay. When you first saw that the first time around, when you saw the character in it and Fat Amy, a lot of people just go, I'm not doing that. That's not part of my remit. But did you ever think twice with the character? Did you go, she's a brilliant character, I want to do it?
No, I was just like, I'd actually played a character called Fat Mandy before in Australia. So I was like, oh yeah, Fat Amy.
Same thing.
Got prior experience playing a similar type of character. As a comedian, you got to use your physicality. You got to use whatever you were given with for your comedy as part of your arsenal of comedy weapons. And when I read the first script that Kay Cannon sent me, I was just like, I think, even though Fat Amy was about the 7th biggest character in the original script, I just thought, I think that character really pops, and he's very, very funny.
She certainly pops. She's brilliant. From the moment this movie starts, you're kind of the center of the whole production because you're hanging from the ceiling like a Cirque du Soleil thing. When you read the script, did you go, because I hear you're afraid of heights.
I am. Even this morning I was in a building with glass floors and looking down, like I get really scared, like I have to hold on to things. When there's stairs and there's gaps in stairs, I have to like hold on to the railing. I'm paranoid I'm gonna fall. I have actually fallen from a theatre roof before in a high school production of Fiddler on the Roof, which made me very paranoid that I was gonna kill myself.
Understandable.
In this movie, accidentally. But I had a very good coach who had performed with Cirque du Soleil in Las Vegas in a number of shows, and I trained for 5 weeks. And on the day, I went much higher than what I'd ever rehearsed at, and I said, I'll just do it 3 times, crush it, I'll seem really confident, and let's just get it, and then let's just like move on. And I don't ever have to do it again.
And did it work?
Yeah, it did. We crushed it, and I'm so proud of it that I did actually achieve it in the movie, because otherwise it would have been a completely different opening to the film.
Okay, this movie's all about singing. Lastly, very quickly, I wanted to ask you, I know you still live with Matt Lucas, and I want to know whether you both, do you sing in the shower?
Yeah,
and if you do, what does Matt sing?
I am moving out soon.
Are you?
But,
he's kicking you out?
No, I just like becoming so successful that I had to like buy my own house.
Love it.
And I mean, Matty's like an older brother to me. He's such a great comedian and such a great guy. And so we've had a lot of fun living together. But now I'm like spreading my wings.
Well, Elizabeth, congratulations on the movie, first of all, Pitch Perfect 2. I loved it. And this is a little bit different this time around for you, obviously, because you're the director this time around. What was it like being in control of the cast? Like, did they treat you like a boss, or what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, I was the boss. It was really, I enjoyed it, and it was something I was working towards for a long time. Okay. And, a really natural progression, I think, coming from working every day on the first film, working really closely with Jason Moore, who directed the movie. And, we're really protective of our little movie. In that it's got such a special tone. I think it was really surprising to people the first time around, and very much part of my personality in this one as well. reflected in both films, and so it was a really natural progression to take over the directing duties.
Yeah, and is it a tough gig? I know it's a tough gig doing all this promotion stuff to make you tired, but I assume if you're running from behind the camera and telling everybody what to do and then running into the scene, that's probably more tiring, no?
You know, the days that the worst part about acting in the movie, frankly, was I had no time to do hair and makeup. That was the hardest thing to find. So I literally did it like while I ate breakfast and while I ate lunch.
Okay.
And I never shot a scene of mine pretty much until either after lunch or like the very end of the day. I sent everyone home.
Okay.
And then John and I could just do our thing.
Oh, now, I love a cappella, I love music. Do you ever, when you're directing a film like this, do you ever go, listen, just stop singing? I need a break from singing right now.
You know, I still love the songs that
we
got in the movie. Yeah, I'm so excited for the soundtrack, which you can pre-order right now. And I really love the music. I actually find that I am starting to prefer our a cappella versions of songs over the originals. I'm like, oh, that's what timbre sounds like? Oh, I totally forgot. Because, you know, we're mashing stuff up and having fun. I just think the girls have done just such an amazing job.
I love it. And you're a co-presenter in the movie. Stuff he says is outrageous. It's even more outrageous this time around. When you read the script, what was the most shocking thing? Or do you ever go, when you're doing it, do you ever crack up and ruin a scene by laughing?
Yeah, absolutely we do. The script this time, I mean, we have amazing jokes written for us, and then, you know, John's one of the greatest improv artists that I've ever worked with, and I've known him a long time. We wrote the role specifically for him in the first film, and so to have him back and to be able to play his partner, we have really too much fun.
And you've loads coming up. I know you've done Magic Mike XXL. Mm-hmm. What can we expect for that? Because ladies of Ireland are very excited about this movie.
They should be very excited.
Should they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was on set during a couple of the major dance routines, and it was pretty good. It was pretty sweaty. I watched the routine. Joe Manganiello hurt his arm doing a routine. Right. And when you see it in the movie, you'll understand why. I mean, he really goes for it. They all do. I mean, it is XXL.
Congratulations on Pitch Perfect 2. Loved it, Max. Lovely to meet you. First of all, I wanted to talk about the first film because it was an absolute juggernaut hit. It just took over everywhere. Everybody's still watching it on DVD and TV. Were you surprised at how big the first film was? And was it obviously a no-brainer that the sequel was always going to happen?
Definitely surprised that the film was as much of a juggernaut as it was. We knew it was, when we were making it, we knew we were making a really good film that our friends would love, but like that's about 50 people. So we did not have any sense of what it would do. We had no idea that this Cup song that we heard Anna Kendrick do in an audition would go on to become a global phenomenon. We had no idea. And as far as the sequel, it was not immediately obvious we were going to do a sequel, to be honest, and frankly that was the studio's decision, not ours. But I think it was primarily the response and reaction that came from the home video piece when people really started watching home video and pay TV, and those numbers were staggering. Right. And that's when everyone said, "Wow, there's this much larger fan base than we even realized."
Okay, and what is it you think that people love so much about the Bellas? I mean, they just literally click with it. Is it because there's so many of them, there's somebody for everybody to identify with, or what? Or is it the music, or what do you think is the one thing that seems to be, because it's a worldwide hit?
Yeah, I don't think there's one thing, which is probably part of the reason why it is what it is. I think you correctly hit on several of them factors. I think we have a series of characters that are all very relatable in different ways, and different people can kind of hook into different characters based on different views of the world. And a lot of those characters are based on people we or the writer have known throughout our life. And so they're heightened examples of real people. And then you combine that with the music, and I think we created a lot of great original music that you hadn't really heard before. People had not heard a cappella in a real way before that, and so I think that combination of grounded, relatable characters, irreverent comedy, and the music, that kind of hybrid amalgam is what makes the film go.